Hi there, it's Beckie Belote. I am a Creative Memories Advisor from Newport News, Virginia, and today I want to show you a really cool album idea. Recently, Creative Memories came out with a Christian-based product line called Keep the Faith, and it's absolutely beautiful. My clients are loving it for their 12 by 12 albums, but the first thing that came to my mind when I saw it is how cool and easy it would be to use that for a Faithbook album. So a Faithbook album is one of those albums that you make to celebrate your faith, to pass down your faith to future generations. And it will be one of the most meaningful albums that you'll ever make. So I'm going to kind of let you see mine so that you can see how pretty it is. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how to make it quickly using the Keep the Faith products. However, if you want to do any kind of 8x8 albums, the ideas that I'm going to show you will work for that too. Okay, so let's take a peek. Da, 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 da. This is the part where I sometimes lose my phone, but today it looks like it's going to work out just fine. So let's do it this way so that you can see it. So crazy pretty colors in the Keep the Faith book. The paper themselves are just gorgeous, but not Christian based really. So you could really use them for any project. So if you like these colors, you should grab Keep the Faith. The mats you could use for whatever. The embellishments and the stickers are, I think, very Christian based and are going to be great for anything like your baptisms, your, weddings, anything that you would be doing with the church. If you're, doing a fundraiser for the church or whatever, it's going to be perfect. All right. So let's flip through just so that you can get an idea. So basically, like this mat right here was a scripture that came in the mat pack. So I could put a photo on it, but in this case, I'm using it to share this awesome scripture. So you just throw a photo down here and there and scripture, or you could share a story, about your faith, maybe family traditions. Maybe interpretation of scripture, or favorite prayers, or favorite traditions. I hope you like it. This just takes my breath away. It was very simple to make. So what I'm going to do after I flip through this so that you can get kind of a look and feel of what a faith book looks like, I'm going to then start over and show you how I made this really quickly. Okay, so basically there are a lot of pages in here where I just wallpapered and then add a pre-cut mat and an embellishment or a sticker. So all of that, the decoration is easy. But in case you don't know how to cut an 8x8 piece of paper, I'm going to show you how to do it with our trimmer. So to do it fast, what you would do is line up your 12 by 12 piece of paper with the 8-inch mark. You would go to the 8-inch mark here on the side of your trimmer. I see the 8 is right there. And I'm going to line up that little white bar here at that 8-inch mark, which is there. All right. Once you do that, you go that way, flip your paper, line it back up to the 8-inch. And this time all I need to do is line up my white bar with the cut that's already there. So it's easier now to get my 8x8. So I wanted to show you that because this is what you can wallpaper with. It'll fit perfectly on your pages. But the scrap that is left over is 4 inches. Okay, so that means I can go ahead while I'm at it and cut me some mats. So if it's already 4 inches, I'm going to cut 6-inch mats. So there's a mat that I could use. Look how easy that would be to throw that on that page. And I could do some 4x4s if I want to. I'm going to go ahead and, in fact, I think that once I cut one of these, actually, I'll get a little scrap here that's not used. or it could be used, but it's just a different size. Okay, so that's what you get from your scraps after you cut your 8x8. All right, so a lot of my pages in this book had this. The next thing that let's see, let me flip through and tell you what else that I did. So those are all wallpapered. All right, down here, kind of a different look. All that is, though, is I took a piece of 8x8 and cut it in half. And then I put 1/2 on each side. So that's a great look. I do that a lot in my 12x12 albums. And then this is a mat, either from the mat pack or one that I cut. Not sure which. Little embellishment there. All right, this look looks a little bit harder, but it's not. All I did is I went ahead and cut a 8x8, just like this. I cut it in half so that I had 2 4x4 rectangles, just like the last one. Then what I like to do is I like to grab either my scorer or my perforating blade. Oh, I shouldn't have done that yet. I should have cut it in half first. Let me cut it in half. All right. And then I'm going to throw this little guy in the perforating blade. I'm going to stack these two on top of one another because I like to do things quicker. And I am going to perforate at the 1-inch mark. It could have been, I could have said a 1/2 inch. It's going to give you a different look depending on what you chose. Now that is just so that it folds nicely. I would go ahead and throw some adhesive under there. And now we have a really cool, it looks like you went to a little bit more trouble. Okay, so that's that idea. Let's see, what else do I do? And again, I do that a lot in my 12x12 albums. Okay, this is another great look. All you do for this one is stack your paper. All right, so I'm going to go back to the 4x4s. Cut them in half so that they're 4x4s. And then grab a punch. Right now, I probably would use the diamond arch. Any of your border punches are going to work. Baroque is another beautiful one, which you just saw. All right, and I usually start in the middle and then go both ways. And the only reason, it doesn't really matter, but if you do on punches that don't end exactly, it'll look, both ends will look the same. So just put it in so that it looks like it's in the middle. You could actually measure it with your mat to make sure that it is. But I'm just going to kind of demo this real fast. You basically put the punch in. Pretty sure my lighting is not ideal. Let me fix this. And then go both directions. So this is one of those that would not have completed. So I'm going to get a partial border there, which makes it good. So it'll look the same when I get to the other side. So I'm going to now line up here and go this way a couple times. And then bam, you have a beautiful border. So you can see how pretty that looks. All right. All right, so that takes care of that idea. Let's go, and this is the same thing. I cut it in half, and I did borders on each side and then split them between the two. I just put it sideways instead of on the bottom. So this is using the diamond arch. This was a mat. This was stickers and raised embellishments. This was not an 8x8 cut in half. I did a little wider on this one just to give it a little bit of variation from the rest, but you can do that. It's 8 inches tall, so however, probably 6 inches wide here. Here's another idea. It's just triangles, and that works really nice with our trimmer. Cut your 8x8, put your opposite corners in your groove, and then just cut. So we're going in the cutting groove. The cutting groove on our trimmer is marked by the number at the top. That's where it's going to be cutting. If in doubt, we have this little measure piece that goes down to make sure you absolutely are going through the tip of that triangle so that it will be absolutely perfect. I am going to get rid of my perforating blade because if I don't, it will not cut. And then we've got the two triangles to get this look. And you also could do a variation, like I put them down at the bottom like this. But I could have done like this as well, or at the top. So totally different looks with your triangles. And what else might I do? This one is, I cut one 3x3 square and one 4x4 square, cut them on the diagonal just like we did here, and then I grabbed the Baroque punch, started at the middle, and went each direction just like I did when we did this demonstration. Okay, and then I kind of layered them on top of each other to get that look. And anything else different? This is another fold over page. I only chose a narrower, like another, instead of an inch, I think I did 3/4 inch border there. Gives a totally different look. And that's just wallpapered. All right, so I am going to look at you for a second, I hope. And I just wanted to thank you for tuning in. I hope you got some ideas to make an 8x8 Facebook. And thank you for following my blog. Bye. Have a great Easter.